What happened with me was my father was in construction work, and I graduated high school in 1963, and he asked me, he says, I know you're planning on going on to college, but I really need help with the business, and so I was wondering if you could give me a year to work with me in the field to help me to get on my feet so I can get my crew together and everything, and then you can go on to college the next year. So I said, okay, Dad, that'd be fine. So I went to work with my father for a year, doing heavy construction work, homes, and so we are religious family, and that my parents had asked me to go to church to meet young people in the area, and so I would be more comfortable in my daily activities. So went to church and met the kids at church and became familiar with them, and grew close to my first wife, and found out that after we got married we had a child on the way. So I decided to fall in love with construction in order to be good at it. So I worked as hard as I could to learn the business and to run it for my father, and I did it for 7 years. And my tools that we used, table saws, miter saws, skill saws, drills, routers, any kind of tool that makes noise, that's what we use. And I was told many times that over a period of time it would have an effect upon my hearing. So I just didn't pay any attention. It was just part of what came with the business. And so as time went on, my hearing got worse and worse, and had a couple of hearing tests, and they all told me that my ears weren't in the condition that they need to be for me to carry on normal conversation. And I had children and I had grandchildren, and the difficult thing for me was grandchild climbing in my lap and trying to tell me what activities he did that day and how his day went and how school was and things that were exciting to him, and I wouldn't be able to understand him. And same thing with other kids and parents and adults, and not being able to communicate on a normal basis. So when my wife had filled out an application and sent it in to Seratoma, they had qualified me to receive the hearing aids. And so I went down and was tested. They took impressions and they sent it away, and the hearing aids came back. And when I got the hearing aids the first time and I walked outside of the store, the first thing that I heard was birds. I haven't heard birds in so long, and they were so loud. I mean, they were everywhere. Now, I couldn't see any, but I mean, I could hear them. And the traffic on the highway, the cars traveling up and down the road, and the horns, and people talking and walking, and it was just an incredible feeling of having my entire world open up before me, so that I was able to communicate and to hear and to feel emotions and get excited, and just felt so much better about myself, being able to hear and being able to understand the normal things that most people take for granted. So I've had the hearing aids. I appreciate every single day that I have them, and Seratoma has been wonderful to me. And Mr. McCart, he's been a tremendous man, a tremendous help to me through the years. And he's always helped me every time that I've needed his help with the hearing aids, to maintain them, to get them repaired, and to be able to have them so that I can continue enjoying life every single day that I wake up. And of course my wife appreciates it now. She didn't have to yell at me to get me to do anything. But it's been a wonderful life since I've been able to hear, and I am just so very, very thankful for that. Don't be afraid to think that there's something wrong with you if you have difficulty in hearing, but you're not willing to admit it. You really need to think of how much better your life would be if you're able to hear and communicate and speak with people and make your ideas known and be able to share other people's thoughts and feelings and be able to hear what they're saying and give a legitimate and honest answer to a question that you're asked, because there are a lot of things that you might think you said, but you find that you may have said something and somebody was asking you, well, why did you say that? Because it has nothing to do with what I asked you. So you really need to take the precaution to protect your ears before you have the hearing loss. But whenever you do suffer from it, you need to be able to go and have your ears tested and find out that the excitement that you have of being able to hear again is just unsurpassable. I pretended that I could hear what they said, and I would study a person's mouth, and I could pretty much tell what they were saying by their lips when they were communicating to me. And of course, my wife would be somewhere close to me, so she would be able to drop a word or two to enable me to understand what they asked me, so that I'd be able to understand. But no, 99% of the time, I was just unable to clearly understand what was being said to me. So that was a tremendous benefit that I had from receiving the help that I did for the years, as I said. I'm eternally thankful. For me to be able to share my story on Hearing Help Network is an opportunity to make to other people the fact that without their help, without receiving the hearing aids, I probably wouldn't be able to communicate with my loved ones. I wouldn't be able to talk to somebody at the bank when I'm cashing a check, be able to hear a siren from a fire engine or an ambulance whenever they're going down the highway, that if somebody called to me to alarm me from something that I might have an accident by doing, that is unlimited the amount of benefits that you can receive by being able to hear once again, and to feel a comfort in yourself, realizing that, hey, I'm back close to normal. And it's incredible to feel so secure in yourself, knowing that people care about what you have to say. To be part of the Hearing Help Network has been such a benefit and a plus for me and my family and my loved ones. I encourage you to do the same. I didn't discuss any of the things that I had gone through in my past with the heart transplant, the non-Hodgkin's lymphoma cancer, and the stricture in my stomach. I've been cut open from my neck to my navel. I've had just about everything replaced in me. But the thing of it is, when you're having all of these different surgeries, you're going through a lot of communication with your physicians and nurses and staff, and they're telling you certain things that you're supposed to do, medications you should take, how often, when, and where. And it's just been a tremendous amount of communication between them and myself. And not being able to hear what they're saying is completely impervious of someone who needs to be able to know what to do once they've gone through the surgeries I have. So by receiving the hearing aids and being able to hear and understand what the doctors are telling me that I need to be doing is a tremendous benefit, and that's the reason why I think I'm still alive today, because of the medications that I take and the religious attitude that I have to have towards taking them and being able to hear, yes.